Good morning, and many thanks for joining us on the program, The Conversation, this beautiful but wet Friday morning. It's May 22nd, 2026, and the program is reaching you live from the studios of Lagos Television in Ikeja. My name is Bukola Tilokol, and as usual, I am not alone. I have with me beautiful and radiant looking Joy. Hello, Joy. How are you?
Good morning, Bukola. How are you doing? And we are in matching colors today.
That's
The
true.
sky
I
is
didn't
blue.
pay attention
No, I
to
disagree.
that.
The sky is red.
Oh, you
Yes.
don't watch football, my dear.
I used to be a fan of Arsenal.
You used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
now,
you're one of those that ran away.
I've come back home.
We know them. After 22 years, congratulations
Thank you.
to your fake team
Uh-uh.
because you are not an Arsenal fan. We know them when we
Gunners
see them.
for life.
And you see again, you're even wearing blue. This sky is blue.
I don't even know why I'm wearing blue. I don't.
Why didn't you wear red?
Anyway.
Okay, Joy, you're an Arsenal fan, Abi.
Don't ask me questions.
Mention two
Don't,
players. What is the name of your coach?
Oh my God.
What is the name of your coach?
Don't ask me that.
Can you see?
The last time they asked me such questions, no. Let history not repeat itself. Let me just greet and we continue with the program. Good morning and welcome. I am Joy Olu.
Okay, so Joy, when you woke up this morning, tell me, how did you feel?
I didn't feel like coming to work.
I thought I was alone.
I didn't feel like coming to work. No,
because of the weather?
Yeah, and the body's just tired.
You know, when I woke up this morning, I said to myself, I wish I can just stay back in bed and then somebody will just serve me hot amala with gbegiri. Now, the weather, hot amala with gbegiri and ewedu, then fresh fish, obokun to be precise, and then snail. Not serve me one. I'm not done. Why is the camera guy saying kilo day? I just imagined my life in bed with that dish in front of me.
Then after eating it, you go back to sleep.
My dear,
you won't even wash your hands.
Wash hand. I went back to sleep like that. And then I just said to myself, I now remember the kind of job that I do. I just pinched myself into, Madam, come back to reality, get up. And now I'm here. No amala, no gbegiri, no ewedu. All I can see camera guys with their cameras. I can see Joy there. And I have the assurance that our viewers at home, they are watching because you're actually the reason why we do this every day. So I think I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so Joy, let's move to our news points. I'm going to, you did Ojoro for me, but I'll let you go. Don't worry. I'll forgive you. You're forgiven. Okay. So I'll start with this headline that says 2027 court faults INEC vacates deadline for primaries nomination of candidates. Ahead of the 2027 general election, political parties have received relief after the Federal High Court in Abuja invalidated the timeline that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, issued for the conduct of primaries and the nomination of candidates. The court, in a judgment delivered by Justice Mohammed Umar, also set aside the INEC's May 10 deadline, requiring political parties to submit a register and database of all their members as a condition for qualifying to participate in the general elections. It held that the time frame the Commission imposed for political parties to conduct their primaries and to submit, withdraw, or replace the names and particulars of their candidates for the general elections is inconsistent with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2026. Now, the judgment followed a legal action brought by the Youth Party to compel INEC to comply with the Electoral Act 2026 120-day pre-election deadline for submitting party registers and candidates' personal particulars. Now, okay, I'm just going to jump. While agreeing with the YP, Justice Umar declared that in view of the provisions of Section 29, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, which requires political parties to submit the particulars of their candidates, INEC cannot lawfully abridge or limit that statutory period by prescribing a shorter time frame in its 2027 election timetable. Likewise, the court held that in line with Section 31 of the Electoral Act, which permits political parties to withdraw and substitute candidates not later than 90 days before the conduct of an election, the INEC lacks the powers to abridge or limit that statutory period by fixing an earlier deadline for the withdrawal and replacement of candidates in its 2027 election timetable. Justice Umar further held that by provisions of Section 32 of the Act, INEC does not possess the statutory power to publish the final list of candidates for the general election before the 60-day minimum period prescribed by the law. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. This headline will actually give many political parties who are still trying to organize themselves, enough time. Now that the court has ruled, they now have enough time to, carry out their primaries, do all the necessary things so they can qualify for the general elections. My issue with our electoral process is that we are so court-centered. Every election cycle, we usually we have one court drama or the other. And at the end of the day, we move away from the main issues. Talking about governance, public issues. We're now talking about, legal tussle, one court drama or the other. I think we should move away from that. All these legal tussles and court battles, they actually weaken our democracy. And then, it also reduces the trust people have in the government. Right now, Nigerians have issues trusting the government. But when we continue to deal with issues like, going to court over all cases that can be settled like this, we just settle it one way or the other. Going to court. I know that 2027, we are going to have a lot of court drama. I'm so sure about that. So right now, we are really hoping that INEC will do the right thing. And political parties too, please just follow the guidelines INEC has stipulated, in line with the Electoral Act 2026. Nigerians are really looking forward to a peaceful and credible elections come 2027. And we also hope that the court, they say that the court is the last hope of the common man. So even if we have any legal issues, we are really hoping that the court will do the right thing and save and protect our democracy.
Absolutely. You've spoken well, because to me it's seeming like the courts are for the political parties dragging themselves here and there. But again, the ruling has been made, and I believe that INEC will follow suit and do what is needful. But again, you are craving for, now the time has been given. If you still don't put yourselves together, that's I'm referring to the political parties now. If you still don't put yourselves together, your time starts now. The days are counting. Time waits for no one. Okay, let's move on to the next story. We'll be jumping to Lagos. Now, this is coming from Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat. He says, "We don't need violence to win elections," Hamzat tells APC members. The Lagos State Deputy Governor, Dr. Bafemi Kadri Hamzat, has urged members of the All Progressives Congress to shun violence during elections, insisting that political contests should be driven by ideas and service rather than conflict. He spoke after participating in the APC Governorship Primary Election at Ward A4 held at Ansaruddin Primary School in Ekpe local government area. According to him, the primaries were aimed at deepening development and sustaining progress in Lagos, stressing that there was no reason for party members to engage in violence. Quoting him now, he says, "It's a competition of ideas. How do we move our people forward? We intend to develop the state, so we don't need to fight. As you can see, we are peaceful, and that is the momentum we are taking into the election," end of quote. The Deputy Governor commended party members for their peaceful conduct and participation in the exercise, noting that reports from across the state showed that the primaries were orderly. This is self-explanatory. It says we don't need violence to win elections. And I also linked this to the report I read, I think it was on Monday, from the former military president, Yakubu Gowon, who also said that in 2027, politicians do not need to play the do or die kind of politics. And again, and I said something yesterday, that people vying for these political offices, do you have it at the back of your mind, or if not at the back, maybe one corner of your mind, that it's a call to service? And again, what are the ideas or the ideology that you're working with? Everything should end towards making Nigeria a better country, making the people feel better about governance, and, you know, making everyone happy. And so again, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat has admonished his party members, saying we do not need violence for the elections.
You've said it all, and the deputy governor has, hit the nail on the head. That headline is basically reminding us that elections are supposed to be about ideas, leadership, and service to the people, not intimidation, not fear,
or personal interest.
Yes, not force. It is not a do or die affair. And, I must really commend the APC for what they did with their primary elections. Everybody on a straight line, direct primaries. They actually told those who want to be flag bearers that go and test your popularity among the party members first before coming to the general elections. I really like that. That is internal democracy in action. And relatively, it was peaceful across the country. We really did not hear anything about violence. I wish we can actually carry this into the general election, because, truth be told, in the last 20 or even 30 years, our electoral process has been stained with violence, intimidation, ballot box snatching, and things like that. We need to move away from that. I'm really praying that we'll get to a time when Nigerians will come out without being afraid to vote. When they have this, when they are sure that their safety is guaranteed, they will come out to vote. And when they vote for their right candidates, they will back their votes up, ensure that their votes count, and this will also deepen our democracy. So the deputy governor has said it all. We need to shift away from violence. It is not by force. If you don't win, you go back and strategize.
And try again.
And who knows? I'm trying to remember, our late president, the late Muhammadu Buhari, he tried not once, not twice. So just go. If you lose,
and we still have somebody that is still trying. He's still trying.
Joy.
It's a message of hope. Let's move on.
Yes, you're right. We have somebody that is still trying and wants to try again. So please, we don't have to kill people because you want to win an election. No, we need to move away from that. And Nigerians, you need to also come out and vote. Don't stay at home and say your vote will not count. If you stay at home and say your vote will not count, if they elect anyhow, in quotes, anyhow person into public office, then you have no right to complain because you did not carry out your own civic responsibility. Exactly. So we are going to move to another story. And this one, when I read the headline, I said to myself, and people will actually believe this story. Like, especially those people on Facebook. They will believe the story. I'm looking for the story. So just give me, okay. Don't mind me. Yeah, and this is my phone. Okay, so the headline says, Tinubu has no plan to rename Nigeria, scrap Sharia. That's according to the presidency. The presidency has dismissed as false and mischievous reports circulating online that President Bola Tinubu was planning to rename Nigeria as the United States of Nigeria. Can you imagine? As the United States of Nigeria, and abolish Sharia law in the northern part of the country through a proposed constitutional amendment. In a statement issued by his special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the presidency described the viral publication as fake news, deliberately designed to create tension, fuel political instability, and mislead Nigerians ahead of the forthcoming general elections. Ononuga said the report, which relied on unnamed sources, was part of a calculated attempt by desperate politicians to sow discord within the country and overheat the political atmosphere. According to him, those behind the publication were agents of destabilization and merchants of disorder, urging Nigerians to disregard the story entirely. The presidential spokesman also denied claims that President Tinubu intended to forward a bill allegedly codenamed Project True Federation to the National Assembly before the general elections. He stressed that constitutional amendments in Nigeria follow a clearly defined legal and legislative process that cannot be executed arbitrarily by either the president or the National Assembly. Ononuga explained that any constitutional alteration would require broad national consensus, including the support of 2/3 of members in both chambers of the National Assembly, as well as approved by at least 24 state houses of assembly. The presidency maintained that President Tinubu remained focused on implementing economic reforms and delivering the benefits of governance to Nigeria rather than engaging in divisive political distractions. No. So, I'm so certain that this story came from Facebook.
Why?
Because you see that Facebook, those there, they are on an, I don't know, I think they're in another planet entirely. I don't know how they do it. And unfortunately, facts like this that the presidency has stated, they don't spread as fast as this fake news.
How can fake news sells and spreads?
Yes, how can somebody just wake up and say that the federal government wants to rename the name of our dear country, Nigeria, to United States of what?
Nigeria.
USN. Okay, we have USA. So now that is unbelievable. But I assure you that some people, in fact many people, they believe the story.
Well, for me, I didn't see it. But again, the presidency has debunked it, and so everybody on the straight line.
As he doesn't really, like, yes, everybody on the straight line. Like, and I tell people, when you see stories, especially online, number one thing you need to do, verify the source. Ensure that that source is credible. A verifiable source. Is verified. Ensure that that source is credible. That's the word I'm looking for. Credible source. Don't just believe everything any Dick, Tom and Harry say on social media. And I don't know so what's the intention of those that, you know, that came up with these stories and are sharing it?
You know, some people just like it when there is chaos and unrest.
And they dealt with some people two sensitive issues in Nigeria. Religion and our identity. They are
those things are very, very...
They are very, very sensitive issues. Sensitive. If care is not taken, it can cause chaos. So please, I beg you, don't you want to live in a peaceful country? I want to live in a peaceful country. So please, let us stop spreading fake news. And before you share that information, all of you sharing WhatsApp broadcast messages, I had to block some people. The elections is how many months away now? I think barely 8 or 9 months away. Please, watch what you share. That's a very critical period in the history of Nigeria.
Very volatile.
I don't add pepper or fuel into our issues. Please, we beg you, please. Watch what you share.
Absolutely.
Very important.
NDLEA warns against toxic pop culture, illicit substance abuse. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has urged Nigerians to rise against toxic pop culture that glamorizes the abuse of illicit substances as an acceptable way of life, especially among youth. The chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Brigadier General Muhammad Marwa, retired, gave the charge during the official commissioning of the agency's radio station. He challenged stakeholders and well-meaning Nigerians to join the NDLEA's war against drug abuse, social advocacy campaign to protect young people from accepting illicit drug abuse as a normal culture. And I quote, he says, "We recognize that behind every statistic of drug abuse is a human being, a vulnerable teenager seeking escape, a broken family searching for answers, a brilliant mind derailed but capable of redirection." Through this, says that they will drive the narrative softly but firmly. They'll counter the toxic pop culture that glamorizes drug abuse by replacing it with a vibrant alternative culture that celebrates sobriety, showcases real stories of recovery, and provides accurate, life-saving information. He says that substance abuse fuels insecurity, it weakens public health, reduces economic productivity, and threatens the nation's future workforce. This is quite self-explanatory, but again, we cannot overemphasize the issue of substance abuse. It's no longer just drugs anymore. Anything. I mean, if you
even cake, be careful of.
Yeah, there are some cakes that are.
Yes, they've laced it.
Yeah, they laced. So and again, you have a lot of young people who are dealing or struggling with substance abuse. Then what is the future of our nation if we do not tackle this and take it seriously?
So I have issues with musical content online. If you
glamorize
those videos, they glorify substance abuse. They make you feel like it is normal. When you see them carrying that red cup, thank God Lagos State government has banned single-use plastics, so that cup has been banned. Yes. When you see them carrying that red cup, and then you see all these young people, secondary school students, you know, they want to be like.
They want to belong.
They want to belong. They want to be like the celebrity that they love. And you see our celebs too. Your lifestyle, please, you need to tone it down. Be role models to these young people. When these young ones see a celeb, you know, living that life, successful in quotes, and, you know, showing that he or she is into drugs, you know, doing too much alcohol and things like that. They want to be like that. They want to belong, like you said. So this fight, if we are going to fight drug abuse in Nigeria, everybody, all hands must be on deck. Parents, please watch out for your children, even your primary school children. I saw a video online. It happened in the US. I think their junior class, the boy should be 8 years old, yes. His friend gave him sweets, laced. That boy for 3 to 4 days was,
didn't get himself.
I don't want to use the word insane. But thank God for the kind of health facilities that they have over there. That boy would have lost his life, yes, or gone mad or something. So
I also read a report to secondary school here in Nigeria. A student was given something and the boy was moving mad already, you know, and then they found out that it was another person that gave him and all that. But again,
can you imagine? So please, parents.
How do these things get into the market?
You can
it
get
is still human beings like you and I
that are bringing it. People are making money from it. People are actually making money from it. And when you listen to music that glorifies it, you also want, if you're not careful, especially a young child that is a young boy or girl that is still, you know, trying to
looking for direction for life.
Yes, find his or our own identity. If care is not taken, they can be misled just by watching videos online, just by following a particular celeb. This is my favorite celeb. No, you can be misled. So parents, guardians, the school, teachers, everybody. In those days, they used to say that the community
takes a village to raise a child.
It takes a village to raise a child. But nowadays, if you beat somebody else's child, you're in trouble. I think we can go back. We need to go back to that era where
communal living.
Where it takes a village to raise a child. I think we need to go back to that. Okay, enough of that. That's our news points. Now, yesterday, Lagos State Deputy Governor Dr. Obafemi Hamzat emerged as the flag bearer for the APC governorship race in Lagos State. And yesterday night at the APC Secretariat, Dr. Hamzat delivered his acceptance speech. So right now, if our producer is ready, let's listen to what our Deputy Governor, who is now the APC flag bearer for the governorship race in Lagos, let's listen to what he had to say yesterday. But before then, I need to congratulate him. Congratulations, sir. Well done. So if our producer is ready, let's listen to what he had to say.
So as we prepare for this election across our country, I therefore wish to seek your blessing as I will run for the office of the Governor of Lagos State as the candidate of this great party. Let me try again to reintroduce myself to Lagosians. I am Kadri Obafemi Hamzat. I was born somewhere about 38 kilometers from here in Mushin, where I attended Odoabore Memorial Primary School. I then went on to Oliver Baptist High School in Oyo, and later went to University of Ibadan for my bachelor's and master's degree in agricultural engineering, and later got my doctorate in system process engineering at the Cranfield University in England. Before joining public service of this great state, Lagos State, I have been fortunate to acquire significant private sector experience at Fortune 500 companies, Citibank, Merrill Lynch, and Morgan Stanley, all in New York, United States of America. Before our current president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, brought me back to Nigeria to work with Oando PLC as the group head of IT strategy. I've been privileged to serve our dear state of Lagos and the federal government for the past 20 years of my life in various capacities, under the leadership of great men and women. Our party, the All Progressive Congress, has established the foundation on which Lagos can emerge as the most prosperous mega city in Africa. This is the vision of our leading lights, and I know and I believe that we are getting there, and we will get there with hard work, confidence, and determination. So with your endorsement, I would like to continue the transformative work initiated by our leader and father, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and sustained by Governors Babatunde Raji Fashola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, and of course our current hard-working Governor, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. My decision to run for governor was taken after a deep reflection, because I know that governance is not a tea party. I've had the remarkable privilege of seeing at close quarters how hard it is to execute good governance while serving under our great governors, starting from President Tinubu, GCFR, all through to Governor Sanwo-Olu, 4 great examples of progressive, selfless, and effective governance. More importantly, I've asked myself in my private moment, how can I use my experience for the betterment of our dear state, Lagos? What are the steps we need to take to further the development of our great state? How do we as a people sustain the progress that Lagos is making? And that can I, Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, captain a team that will deepen the achievement of the past 27 years and build a lasting legacy in a state that our children and grandchildren will be proud to call home. These are the questions I have pondered over in my mind, in my private time, and when I'm praying to my Creator. My conclusion is that, by God's grace, yes, I can, and we can do it, I know that. I will say that, as we have been doing, the government that I will be leading, when the people of Lagos give us that mandate, we work for all Lagosians. The fisherman in Badagry and Epe, the unknown trader in Oyigbo, Mile 12 and Balogun, our beloved youths in the tech hub in Yaba, the hard-working midwife in our maternity, the sweating driver who pounds the road every day, and the tireless mechanic who fixes our vehicle to feed his own family, the groundnut hawker, and the lowly fellow who works under the biting Lagos sun will not be forgotten. The same goes to the young one trying to survive. That is why our government exists, and we will take care of them. I will also spare a thought for the businessman who wants his investment to yield high returns in a safe and secure Lagos. We must continue to seek an egalitarian society where citizens are treated equally without regard to religion, ethnicity, or class. Given the high stakes of contemporary politics, our party, the All Progressive Congress, and I will go into this election with ideas that represent continuity, even as we will not be afraid to effect changes where and when necessary. I am proud of my service to our state Lagos under great leaders. And as Deputy Governor, I'm involved in all spheres of our state administration under the leadership of our captain, Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. The various initiatives highlighted above and many others are the arteries that pump the lifeblood of our economy, the type of long-term projects and investment that our state actually needs. They require much more than access to finance to be implemented and sustained. They require meticulous planning and a knowledgeable and experienced leader with a firm hand and a track record in responsible management and service delivery. That is what Lagos has given us, and that is what we promise will continue.